There are so many good people out there. Hello, are you back? Such a peaceful place to be. I struggled to boil an egg in my 20s.
Signs of spring there.
We have heard though that there could be temperatures of -10. It's so typical of living in England. But as you move through life, you just end up appreciating small things so much more. I do become very, very attached to plants. I really, really do. I'm sure Fairy Lights are sent to try us. They're splattered with tomato sauce. You know that those are the recipes that you will go back to and back to and back to again. Have a good day. Bye. I'm going to put it out there and say I'm very happy with the food shop today. Favourite part of the day is, first of all, taking my bra off in the evening. But the other thing that I love to do in the day is put my apron on. Cannot stop eating these grapes. They're delicious.
Have you got your glasses?
No.
Glasses.
Good morning and welcome back. Hope you've got yourselves a super cosy drink and that you are at home and you can settle in, because we have got another super cold and chilly, it's 2 degrees at the moment, a super cosy winter's vlog. Are you so beautiful? You are gorgeous, aren't you? You are so gorgeous. Right, I better go now. We're doing a little early morning walk this morning. I've just had a lovely conversation with a lady who's walking 4 dogs this morning. This is where the cows are and the sheep, and sometimes you can get a little good view of them. They are quite close. Let's see if I can... Oh yeah, they are. Let's go in and see if we can see the cows and the sheep this morning. Won't be long and it will be lambing season. I think where the trees here are so bare, you can really get a good look at them. One of the things that I love about getting out early in the morning is those unexpected, just little chats that you have with other people or walkers, dog walkers, even the hellos to the runners that are just by in a flash. Those early morning interactions, just wishing each other a good day, are just so special, aren't they? And I think that it's so nice. It shows that there are so many good people out there. Something that we say at home is, we're faced with so much news and bad things that are happening, but that's why it makes the news. Most people out there are good. All you have to do is look around and you can see the goodness in people pretty much wherever you go. It's definitely barer down here than it has been. I feel like there's been a little bit of work happen here. They've either emptied it out slightly, or the trees are much barer than before. Is it winter and the fact that it's incredibly bare because of the time of year, or has someone been along to cut the trees back and the hedges and I've just worked it out? You can see actually that someone's been around and just cut everything back. It is definitely the right time of year. I think it's like a bramble bush. Make it new, ready for the spring. Spring is coming, won't be long. When I'm down this way, I love just to take a few moments. Hello, are you back? You are so beautiful. Come on, Arthur, good boy. Good boy. Come on, let's go back. I've made a friend.
Sorry.
Don't you worry. When I am this way, I have to come down to the little bird hideout just to see what is happening. Such a peaceful place to be. We're still down at the bird hideout, but you can see here that this tree's had its trim. Hello, morning. Oh, hello. You're beautiful. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Another tree there that's been cut back. Really is so well looked after around here.
Signs of spring. I just noticed the little blossom buds.
Oh, hello. Are you? That's been a very exciting walk this morning, seeing all of those dogs. Oh, really feel good about that. The birds this morning are waking up, aren't they? It's time to head back homeward now, and as I walk back, I will let you know what to expect in today's vlog. If you've caught up with the last vlog, you'll know that I was super busy doing a very early spring deep clean at home, and I felt like that was such a good start for this week, and I really want to continue my motivation with that today. And today I want to focus on the kitchen particularly, and not really the organisation of the kitchen, but really about how the kitchen is stocked. Well, like for many of us, the kitchen is really the heart of our family home. It's the room that provides us with nutrition and well-being and goodness and all the things that keep our bodies alive through the winter and into the spring. As you probably know, there's just GB and I who live at home, and I definitely do most of the cooking these days. It wasn't always the case though. When I used to work full-time as a teacher in school, GB would do all of the cooking, and it's not really something that I ever enjoyed at the beginning. I would say for the first 5 years of our relationship, he did everything. When I say everything, that's not because I was being lazy. I just had this perception that I couldn't cook, and also I was just so busy all the time. Being a teacher is such an incredibly busy job. When we made that decision that I would then start working part-time, it gave me the freedom to really look at what we eat in the day. It gave me the opportunity to learn how to cook from scratch. So I didn't learn from a young age. I'd probably say I was around, when did I go part-time? Around the age of 34. Maybe I was a few years younger than that, but that really gave me the freedom then to explore the kitchen, explore new foods, and learn how to cook from scratch. I mean, I struggled to boil an egg in my 20s. Having the opportunity and then the time to really shop for our food in a way that I can produce something for the family just gave us so much joy, because when you know what is in your food, when you prepare the food and it takes time, you can enjoy it even more. And there are definitely recipes that I will go back to and go back to and go back to. We very much are in tune with the seasons, and that comes into our food as well, and the foods that we're eating over the winter months. You'll all understand that it's about building up that stodge, building up your body ready for very, very cold winter days. The fish pies, the stews with the dumplings and the gravy and all of the potatoes and the Yorkshire puddings, things that are going to really see us through. And I know that you will know what I mean when I say that if you have a good meal on a Sunday, a good Sunday roast in the winter, it will see you through the week. That's a saying that my mum used to say, and I really truly believe it. But as we are slowly moving into spring, there are very early signs of spring. The birds are out, the buds are on the trees. We can see today that the trees are being prepared. There's sheep in the field, they will be lambing soon. There is definitely promise of the transition to come. That being said, we have heard though that there could be temperatures of -10. It's so typical of living in England. You think that spring is here and then suddenly there's going to be the coldest day of the winter. -10 and big snow could be on its way over the next few weeks is what they have said on the news this morning. But who knows? You know what I'm like. I will pretty much say it's going to snow even if there's a 5% chance. But honestly, they definitely said that on the news this morning. So although there are signs of spring, it's not here yet, but it is coming. It is coming. I can prove it today. I have seen it out on my walk. Have you seen any signs of spring where you are? What's the season like in your corner of the world? I have had some wonderful photographs sent over to me over on Instagram and also through email. And honestly, I cannot believe how much snow some of you get. I would love to know more about it. How do you find the snow? Do you almost get sick and tired of it? How do you keep warm? Do you just embrace it and really snuggle down? Do let me know. I'm honestly so interested in where you are. Also, there are lots of you who live in very warm countries. Again, how are you finding the heat? How do you manage? I feel like England is never prepared for a heat wave. Right, let's get home, get the kettle on, and I can talk to you a little bit more about what we're doing today. Home. We're not staying at home for too long today though, because as you know, I have mentioned that I'm thinking about restocking the kitchen, thinking about wholesome foods going forward into the next season. So we're going out and about. I'm going to take you to the most beautiful farm shop. I've not taken you there before. It's probably around 25 minutes away from here. And then there is an Aldi nearby, and it's quite a big one. Probably the best one around, actually. That's over in Royston if you're local. I do like an Aldi food shop, and I always find it ironic because they are known for being inspired, let's say, by M&S food, Marks and Spencer's food. If you are not in England, you may already know about the good old M&S. I think that is probably the food shop that people would miss the most. Well, let's ask you, are you somebody who used to live in England and now don't? What do you miss the most? I'd be interested to know if you say M&S, because I think that's what I would miss. So because Aldi have inspired by M&S food, let's say, I always find it quite unusual because over in Royston, they sit next to one another. So I'll pop into Aldi for a good food shop, and if they haven't got some of the things I need, I'll pop into the M&S food hall. Let's get on with the coffee. There's a few bits and pieces that I want to show you in the kitchen, and just a few things that I want to do in here before we head out. Right now though, I'm absolutely gasping for a warm drink. It's the first thing I do when I get back inside. Is it the first thing that you do as well? Just making yourself either a cup of tea if you're a tea drinker, or a nice cup of coffee if you are a coffee lover like me. I'm sure that you probably know by now that I am a huge coffee drinker. I'm looking at my coffee machine, absolutely desperate to start my coffee. I've not even taken off my hat or my coat yet. GB loves Paris, so let's take one of those out for him. This one here is Paris. I've gone for a new one this time, like a chocolatey one. I haven't got my glasses on, but I'm trying to show you the name of it so that you can see. It's almost got like a chocolate hint to it, like a chocolate flavour, let's say. I think even the coffee pods look amazing. This is exactly what the drink tastes like, almost rich of coffee with a deep chocolatey hint. Gorgeous. Can't wait. Literally cannot wait. Now, this is probably my third coffee this morning, and GB were up super early. One of the things that we really like to do is wake early, pop the radio on, sit on the sofas, watch the world wake up out of the arch window and just be for a few moments, hear the birds sing, you know, all of those things that you don't think about when you're young, but as you move through life, you just end up appreciating the small things so much more. So it's quite a busy day today. And then GB said I need to be ready for around 6:30 because we're going out tonight to celebrate Valentine's Day. We're going over to one of my favourite places to eat. And if you're local, when I say the name of this place, you will all know exactly where I mean and just how fabulous the food is there. We're going over to a country pub called the Black Horse, and it's in a very, very tiny village out where I used to live, and I am really, really looking forward to it. If you caught up with the vlog from Saturday, you'll know that I tried on 3 vintage dresses to wear this evening. Well, 2 of those are still in the dry cleaners because they are due to go into the shop and I've just not had time to collect them. The third one, the red vintage Laura Ashley dress, I absolutely love it, but I felt like I was more ready for a Christmas occasion rather than Valentine's Day. So, hiding at the back of my wardrobe is another vintage dress from the 1980s, very early 1990s, but with a 50s twist, let's say. I'll keep it as a little bit of a surprise and share that with you later on. I quickly, very quickly tried it on this morning just to make sure that it fits. Thankfully it does. It's not a dress that belongs to the shop. It's a dress that has always belonged to me. I say always, I probably had this dress maybe 8-9 years. I just can't sell it. I just cannot sell it. So it's one that I have decided to keep for myself. I think if GB had his way, I probably wouldn't have a vintage dress shop. I would just have a huge vintage dress selection because he pretty much says to keep hold of every single one that I try on for the shop. But I can't do that, otherwise I'd never have a business. Still very cloudy and the outside thermometer says it's now 3 degrees. So it has warmed up very slightly. I'm wondering if we'll see the sunshine today. You just never know at the moment. It's just fully cloudy out there, but fingers crossed the sun may appear. It may appear. Well, you will know that on your Wednesday vlog, I was pretty busy with house plants and I had a very poorly one. Do you remember me showing you the poorly nodding plant and the leaf had gone very brown, and I downsized it into a smaller pot? Well, things are not looking very good with it, unfortunately. So I popped it into this pot, but you can see that there's another leaf that has turned. We've got a really sad leaf down here. The 3 leaves in the middle look okay at the moment, but I'm going to have to definitely chop that leaf off. And this one, you can see that this is starting to turn as well. I'm very sad about this. I did say that I wasn't sure if I'd overwatered it. However, the soil that it's in now is very dry. It's almost sitting by a radiator, although obviously not directly near a radiator, but it will definitely be in a warmer, sort of drier area than it was in front of the arch window. Do you remember that the roots were just sodden? It's such a beautiful plant that I really don't want to say goodbye to it. I do become very attached to plants. I really do. Let's pop you in the kitchen just for now. You also may remember that I said I'd pop the spring bulbs in the kitchen. So I've pretty much got them all the way along the coffee bar. I've got some down here in a little casserole dish. There's one in a little cup, just like the one that I'm drinking from. There's already been some growth and I'm sure we'll see some yellow, maybe by the end of the day. There's more little pots along the coffee bar. I'd say the showpiece one though is this one with hyacinth bulbs and daffodil bulbs. Little dashes of yellow there, and you can see the hyacinth bulbs coming through as well. I always love to see the rawness of the bulbs. I know that some people like to cover them and some friends also like to use moss as well. I don't have any moss in the garden, but I had a lovely little message from my best friend Lauren who said, just pop round, I've got some in the garden, just come and take as much as you want. So that was really kind of her. I think I'll probably leave it like this for now, but maybe in the future I will just nip round to hers. She doesn't live very far from me at all. I could be there in a couple of minutes, just take some moss and bring it back for my spring bulbs. Watching the spring bulbs in the kitchen is honestly one of the things I absolutely love first thing in the morning. I'll just come along and have a little look over, see what's happening. And this one has started to show the yellow. I think though that by the end of today, The little daffodil shoot at the back here, maybe fully open. Nothing's happening yet along the balcony. The balcony is still very much the daffodil shoots, but no heads yet, but it won't be long. What is it like where you are? Have you got any spring bulbs arriving? Do you have any spring bulbs in your garden or in your kitchen, in your home? I love to bring them inside, and I'm sure I've told you before that I recycle all of the bulbs. There is a little patch outside of my kitchen window. It's over the other side of the road, but it's part of the community area, and it's a triangular patch. And every year I will recycle what I have, pop them into the triangle. And you know what I'm going to say? When I stand here and wash up, I can just see a whole sea of daffodils, and it's so lovely when you drive in, first of all knowing that you've planted something for the local area, but also just knowing that there are warmer days ahead. It is definitely coming. Spring is just around the corner now. And just see, actually, there is a huge kite bird, but it is just swooping so low over our trees. You quite often see kites this way. That's something else that I love to do. Stand at the window and watch the birds. Coffee break is over, and I want to start thinking about what I'm going to be doing in the kitchen to ensure that there is goodness, wholesome, real, delicious food in here, and in a way that everything is accessible for me, because I love to cook and I love things that are close by. I love to show you how I store food, how I prepare the food, and how I have things to hand when I'm cooking, because the last thing that you want is to be cooking and either not have something or it be too far away from where you are. So I always stand here for cooking, although quite often I will move the coffee bar across the middle, and that is because if I've got the coffee bar here, it just means I can access everything so easily. I've got the stove there, I've got my drawers, my spices, my preparation bench here. It just means everything is very, very close by. But I love to create a very cozy kitchen environment. I've always said that this is a room that I switch and change about all of the time, and you'll probably notice that on vlogs that quite often along the back looks different. And last Saturday you will have seen that I decorated the kitchen for a Valentine's weekend, which we celebrated last weekend in our kitchen, and we had lovely food. I'd strung up some beautiful paper heart bunting. We had a bit of an incident. GB and I were both standing here washing up. The paper chain was strung up in that corner over there, and it was swooping down quite low. So as we were washing up and dancing around and just messing about, GB knocked the paper bunting and it just sort of collapsed. And it was quite funny, really, because there was a song on about love, and the string of hearts just sort of separated at the moment that it said it in the song, that there was a separation. And we ended up laughing. But I have tried to save some of the paper bunting, and I've popped it over one of the mirrors in the bedroom. But you're very observant, because a couple of you had noticed that on your last vlog, just asking it whether I had taken down the decorations before Valentine's Day. So yes and no, I did have up the little heart bunting, but I've taken that down now because it did keep coming away from the tiles, and what with it being near the cooker, I decided that I would put that somewhere else around the apartment as well. I love to use fairy lights on a string. I'm not sure that they have batteries that work. No, they don't. We need to replace the batteries. Fairy lights just bring so much joy. The shape of this kitchen works really well for lights because I've put up a couple of hooks and I've got one at the top corner over there. It does mean that you can drape things and just sort of move with the seasons. Right, let's see if these work. I need some batteries. Got my little jar here of charged up batteries. I have two glass jars. I have a clear glass jar for batteries that need to be charged up, And then I have that amber coloured one that you just saw for batteries that are ready to go. Hopefully these are fully charged, and shall we see if they work? Yay, they do. Wow, they're lovely. I always like them on number 2 in the day, sort of twinkly. Right, let's get these up. So I've worked out how to do my fairy lights with the length. But when I first of all put these up, it did take me a long time to work out how to do the string. I believe, where do I start? I did say I know. That's right, isn't it? Then, yeah. Right, now I've got my glasses on, I might be able to see a bit better. I'm sure fairy lights are sent to try us. I've got this idea in my mind and I've been thinking about it, and I've just got to put them back up because they make me feel happy. Hope nobody thinks I'm putting up Christmas lights. I'm not. Well, I love those. It's not really anything to do with wholesome foods, but it's all about a feeling. And this gives me very, very cozy kitchen vibes. I've got my favourite recipe book here. This is One Pot Pan Planet by Anna Jones. You may already have this one, but if you don't and you love vegetarian food, then I would say it's an absolute must for your kitchen. I think this is probably one of my favourite go-to books. There's a recipe that I shared with you recently from this book. I'll try and link the video for you somewhere up in the air here now. It was an onion crusty pie. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely delicious. And there are so many lovely foods in here. Preserved lemon and herb baked orzo. Oh, here it is. Halloumi, lemon and caramelized onion pie. Oh my, it was so good. With this being one of our favourite go-to recipe books, I'll either have it out so that I can just grab it, or I will pop it up here where all our other recipe books are. There's lots of vegetarian and vegan books up there. I am a vegetarian. I say vegetarian, I'm pescatarian because I do eat fish. GB loves vegetarian food, so quite often we will eat a lot of delicious veggie meals, which is wonderful. I am so pleased that he embraces those dishes, and he always says that they have got so much flavour. So I'm thinking about whether to just have a few more recipe books out. What's this vegan one here? And this one. You can find really delicious, nutritious and wholesome food in vegan and vegetarian books. And if it's something where GB feels that he wants to eat a little bit of meat, he will pop some chicken maybe with it as well. So this is my next one. Again, a very, very aesthetically pleasing recipe book. Also lovely spine on that one. You can see that I love all the pies. I love the tarts that they have in these books. This is a roasted balsamic beetroot and shallot tart. Oh my goodness. Sweet and spicy broth. Show you one more thing in this one. This is just the sort of thing that I was going to show you later actually. He has made some of his sauces there. I love to keep containers like this. I've actually got a couple down here. It's really hard to put a good jar into recycling because you just never know when you're going to need it. And jars like this are perfect for sauces, tomato sauce with pasta, that sort of thing. So we are a family who collects. I have a glass drawer at the bottom underneath my stove where I will pick out the right size jar for whatever I'm doing. And this is the last one that I wanted to show you. Vegan, recipes for a more delicious life. Just because I'm not vegan doesn't mean to say that I can't use these as a basis. I often use vegetarian or vegan recipes just to inspire our home cooked dinners. There is a raw curry here with chickpea and cumin crackers. Again, it looks absolutely delicious. I'll show you one more from this one. So aesthetically pleasing. A green mocktail there. That's made from pear, celery, kiwi, lettuce, avocado, thyme. That's it. Having a great selection of recipe books is just absolutely key. It can give so much inspiration. And I'm not sure about you, but I'm quite often somebody who will maybe tweak something or sub something. GB is really not keen on courgettes, for example. So I'll often sub those with something like peas or broccoli or something else green. Having a key selection of your favourite recipe books, ones that are almost stuck together because you've used them so much, they're splattered with tomato sauce, you know that those are the recipes that you will go back to and back to and back to again. I love to recipe share. I love to share the food that I make at home in our kitchen. One of the things that I get so much joy from is cooking. And I never thought that that would happen for me. As I mentioned earlier on, I certainly wasn't a cook. I was literally like that lady from the sitcom Butterflies. I was telling you about this recently, a vintage sitcom where the main lead, Rhea, cannot cook for her family and her jacket potatoes are rock hard, her eggs are just terrible. And that was me. And it has taken me a long time to learn and experiment, and I'm still very much learning and experimenting, and things don't always go to plan. Sometimes a soup may be thicker than what it should be. There's just a little bit too much tartness in a sauce, for example, but that is all part of learning, and that's what I love to do. Twinkly lights up, making me feel very happy. I've got my recipe books, my favourite recipe books out, and now I'm just going to have a very quick stock take of what we've already got, what we need, and then we're going to head over to the farm shop. So what do I need? That is the question. Chickpeas are plenty, broad beans, black beans, cans of tomatoes, pine nuts we need some more of, sesame seeds need some more of those, oats, pasta, tea, lentils. That all looks good. And then I have my herbs and my spices at the end here. I originally started with just one set, quickly realised that I needed more, and this works so well for me. I'm often here at the stove and I'll turn around, quickly open up the drawer. I'll just grab what I need and then shut the drawer again. I was making a tomato pasta sauce yesterday or the day before, and I needed the Italian, the basil, as well as the oregano, which is just there. So I am constantly in this drawer, and I did and ah about having this many spices, but they're all definitely things that I need. So what do we need to stock up on? Garam masala is definitely something that I use a lot of, and I listened to a chef recently explaining that if you're making a curry at home, the garam masala can be added in quantities. It's really what gives the curry its depth. And they said, just go with it. Go for as much garam masala as you want to. Anything else that I need, cumin is often used at home. It's a little secret ingredient that I tend to add in with our chili. Again, it really warms up the chili beautifully. Do we need some turmeric? Yes, we do. Let's add turmeric on. Turmeric goes into a lot of our curry dishes, like lentil dal and that sort of thing. Brilliant. Let's see what the temperature's like now. Everywhere's going to bleep. Windscreen wipers are going, and it's 4 degrees. So it's moved up a little bit since earlier on this morning. So this farm shop that we're going to, as I say, is about 20 minutes from here. Not far at all. We'll see what vegetables and bits and pieces they have over in the farm shop. If we can, we will try and go to a farm shop every week just to pick up a few bits, but that's not always the case. Like everybody, we all get so busy. We do end up buying supermarket fruits and veg, but you'll know that they don't taste as good. They just do not taste as good as what you can get in the farm shop. I think you're absolutely going to love inside this farm shop. So I'll show you all around. Then I'm going to head over to the supermarket and grab all the bits and pieces that I need. Then we'll head home with the fresh produce from the farm shop and a few staples from the supermarket. Let's go in and take a look around.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye. I told you that you'd like it, didn't I? It is so dreamy in there. Extra little bonus, I thought I'd have a quick look around the houseplants. I was so tempted, but I thought, no, they've also got a restaurant area and they have a gift section. And then just behind me here, like out the back, they have got a circus tent that they have out for children. I don't know if that's all year round. I'm guessing it's just the summertime. And then at the back in the field just behind the farm, they have a pick your own pumpkin patch. They also do pick your own sunflowers. And I want to say pick your own peonies. I'm sure that's correct. Let's see what the temperature is doing now. That bleeping sound means it's cold, and it is 3 degrees. 3 degrees. Doesn't feel like spring is on its way, but it is coming. I will see you when I'm back home. I am just going to pop and do a very quick supermarket dash. See you back home. I'm going to get everything unpacked. This is quite a big shop for us. 4 bags. These netted bags, I go on about them all the time. I absolutely love them. Look how huge they go. I have spoken about these before, but I would say this is in one of my top 5 homemade. I'm just looking up there. Sorry, there's a magpie right up on the top of the lamppost. I wonder if I can show you. Can you see? Right at the top. A magpie. That just goes to show how distracted I become by nature and what is outside of the window. I am going to unpack, as I said, but these bags are just the best. And I think that we should all have them in our lives, because you can go to the market, pick up just a few bits, or you can do quite a big food shop. I've got 3 of those netted bags, and then 1 just standard canvas bag as well. I grab myself my last coffee of the day, pop the radio on, unpack, and then I will let you know all the different bits that I've got. So as I said, this was very, very much a staple, wholesome food shop full of all things good. I'm not sure if I've even picked up any treats. We'll have to have a look.
And the weather mostly dry tonight with clear spells and a frost, low of -2, then rain in Northern Ireland, Wales and southwest England tomorrow, but mostly dry elsewhere, and a high of 10.
I'm going to put it out there and say I'm very happy with the food shop today. Let's show you what I've picked up. I'm going to start with the bits and pieces that I picked up over in the farm shop. Brussels and mushrooms. Thought this looked absolutely delicious. Caramelised pear and vanilla balsamic. It's a balsamic that's nice and thick. I've always been told pick the thickest balsamic you possibly can. You won't regret it. You'll have seen me talk about these before. I have said that I've picked up no treats, but I haven't picked up chocolate biscuits crisps, but I did pick up the toffee cake and also the chocolate cake. These are so handy to have in the cupboard when you've got guests coming round, and all you need to do is add water and oil. A little bit more fruits and veg. These were picked up in Aldi rather than the farm shop. Lemons, sweet potato, bananas, spring onions and apples, and some baby potatoes. Tins can only mean one thing: store cupboard essentials. What have we got? Coconut milk, 3 tins of chopped tomatoes, 2 tins of red kidney beans, passata, tomato puree. Spices I've picked up: smoked paprika, ground coriander, Cajun seasoning, basil, turmeric, cumin, garam masala. Here we've got some sauces for the store cupboard: hoisin, teriyaki, satay. Pantry bits and pieces: cashew nuts, macadamia nuts, sunflower seeds, pine nuts, dried fruit for granola, fruit tea, apple and cinnamon. Wanted to try the chickpea pasta, as well as the red lentil pasta. I don't know if anyone else has tried these before. Do let me know what you think of them. I am a sucker for a pasta, so I've also picked up these really large ones. Brown rice, pesto. Next up is the breads: white sourdough, garlic and coriander naan bread, plain naan bread, wholemeal tortilla wraps, fresh tomatoes, 2 packets of those, clotted cream, olives, sun-dried tomatoes. Over in the corner here we've got some yogurts, 2 lemon curd yogurts, 2 strawberry yogurts, and I've never seen this flavour in there before: mango and passion fruit, so I've picked up those as well. Semi-skimmed milk, and it has to be orange with the little bits in it. Moving on to meats and fish: steak for GB and chicken. Then we've got a big salmon fillet there, and underneath prawns, 2 packets of prawns. Aprons on. Favourite part of the day is, first of all, taking my bra off in the evening. But the other thing that I love to do in the day is put my apron on. It always means business when I've got my apron on. It means that I'm in the kitchen. I am either preparing a really nice meal, or I'm preparing the fruits and the vegetables or the pantry bits and pieces so that it's much, much easier for us to cook going forward in the week. Small home living and having a small kitchen does mean that I need to be super organized when it comes to our food so that we don't waste anything, so that everything's very, very easy to get and almost prepared in a way that I can just grab. So I'm going to share with you just a little bit more about how I go around organising my fresh foods and my pantry goods at home. Have to try a couple. Trouble with cherry tomatoes when they're like this, they're so good. That's the food job done, but I cannot stop eating these grapes. They're delicious. It's a little bit later on now. I've just had a very quick run around so that the kitchen is nice and clear. So GB and I can go out tonight and I don't have to think about, oh, I've got the kitchen to tidy when I get home. I'm due to go and get ready. But has anybody noticed over the course of the day, I did say it could happen. Look at this. Gorgeous. There's a little daffodil there. We've also got one here. If we turn the pot round, there's another one there. And the hyacinth bulbs are coming out as well. It really is just the simple joys in life. Little things like that just make me feel so happy. As I was putting the food away, I was thinking how wonderful it would be to share how I use the produce that I've bought today, but also bits and pieces that I already had in the cupboard, the herbs and the spices that you saw earlier in the drawer, and just have a batch cooking, very cozy, very homely vlog. And I think that's what I will do for your next one, which will be out on Wednesday. So if you love very, very homely, cozy cooking, just stay at home vlogs, tune in, because on Wednesday I will be sharing with you just some very, very simple recipes that both GB and I love. Right, come and join me. Let's go and get ready for the evening. Well, this is the vintage dress that I have decided to wear this evening. As I mentioned earlier, it's very, very similar shape to the third dress that you saw on a recent vlog. It's got a little bit of a fan detail here, which just gives just a nice little bit of movement. The area that I love, love, love about this dress is the waist area just here. Hopefully you can see, and also at the back. Well, we're running out of time. Our table's booked for 7 p.m, so we've got to dash out of the door. But thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you all again on Wednesday around 5 p.m. So do keep in touch. I love hearing from you. And Wednesday we are going to be having a very, very cozy day at home. I think GB is getting a little bit tetchy over here, so I will see you then. Take care and bye for now.
Have you got your glasses?
No.
Get your glasses. Those glasses? Or the
Right.
other glasses?